Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A.Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about menopause related anxiety and what can help. If you like my tips and advice, please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. We know that apart from hot flushes and night sweats, anxiety is probably the second most common symptom in the menopause. And again, most women will experience this to some degree at some point along the journey. But did you know that in the perimenopause and menopause, there is a number of different types of anxiety, and this can be quite a surprise, especially if it's something you've not really experienced beforehand. It can also be really overwhelming if you end up experiencing several different types of this anxiety together. So today I'm going to look at the different types you can experience and what you can do to help yourself. One of the main reasons, it is literally just the fall of estrogen. A lot of women find that just before a period when their estrogen drops, they find that that's when their mood changes. Whereas in the middle of the month when estrogen is high, that's when they feel at their best. So in the perimenopause and menopause, when that estrogen dip can become much more severe, that's when a lot of women find that their anxiety levels increase. It can also be made worse by poor sleep, brain fog, and also fatigue and headaches. So this can end up a real vicious cycle. All these things, the lack of sleep, etc., affect our nervous system, making us much more vulnerable to anxiety. And when we have anxiety, that pulls the rest of our health down as well. So the different types of anxiety, it can be what we would call general anxiety. So this can just be you're worrying a bit more about things, or you're worrying about things that you didn't used to worry about. It may be you're getting a bit more fretful, a bit more nervous about things. You can just have that general anxiety, just maybe a little cloud over your head. You can feel a bit more jittery, a bit more edgy, a bit more irritable, and just suffer from impatience more than what you would normally do. Number two, it can be panic attacks, and these are really horrible because they can come without warning. They can come out of the blue when you're doing just normal day-to-day tasks. It can be unexpected. You might find that you get terror, you're absolutely terrified of something and you don't know what. There can also be a sense of paralysis. It can stop you in your tracks. You can get the dry mouth, you can hyperventilate, you're breathing really, really fast. You can also tremble, you can suddenly find yourself shaking, and you can also get that really severe, painful palpitations as well, and any kind of combination of these together. Number three, it could be health anxieties. So this, your fears can heighten, you can worry more. All the symptoms you get, suddenly you tend not to associate them with the menopause. So you suddenly think, oh, I'm getting palpitations, am I getting a heart attack? I'm getting joint pains, is there something serious going on? My digestion's all over the place, is it something really bad? Your periods that again are going up and down, and you're worrying that there's something really serious going on there as well. You can start worrying about other people's health. You can start to get panicky about your loved ones. Are they going to be all right? Are they going to get ill? Am I going to get ill? And it can also, for some women, be fear of dying too. You get this sudden, your mortality suddenly starts to appear on the horizon. You can also get sort of obsessive-compulsive disorder. It can be sort of ongoing. You have to do things in a special order. You can't leave the house until you've been round 3 times switching the lights off. You have to look at rituals to actually help you control the panic that's going on inside yourself. For some women, it becomes an obsession about keeping the house tidy. Everything has to be just so before you can even continue with the rest of your day. It could be social anxiety. So this could be you don't want to go out, you don't want to meet with friends, you find that really you get into a panic about even doing things like shopping. If you're used to standing up in front of people at work, maybe giving speeches or presentations, you might find that you just can't cope with that side of things now as well. And I mean, that can be a really horrible one if it does affect your work and also your family life. It can also result in phobias. So this could be irrational fears. You might find that you can't cope with going to the dentist or the doctor. It may well be fear of flying. A really common one with a lot of women who've told me they suddenly get into a panic now about driving their car, which was never an issue in the past. So it can be, phobias and fears of things that on a normal day-to-day we could cope with without even thinking about it. So the things that you can do to help yourself, really watch your diet here, because there are certain foods and drinks that will rev up your nervous system. So that's things like caffeine. I know the first time I experienced a sort of panic attack was after about half an hour after a very strong cup of coffee, and I really thought I was having a heart attack, and I was driving at the time, which didn't actually help. So learning the triggers can really help you to cope with these things. High salt and sugar foods can do it too. And don't go long periods of time without food, because if your blood sugar levels dip, that can trigger anxiety and panic attacks as well. Look at relaxation. Remember that 30 minutes me time. I'm going on about that the whole time, but that 30 minutes of proper relaxation really allows your nervous system to stabilize and calm itself down. You can do the deep breathing exercises. I've talked about these before, and a lot of women have told me how well these work once you get them under your belt. Look at calming herbs such as valerian, such as Passiflora. Remember the magnesium. That can be a really great one for stabilizing the nerves. Talk about it as well. If you're feeling really anxious about your work, then talk to your HR or someone you know who can be sympathetic. Talk to your family about it. If you're losing your temper, if you're getting that irritability, let them know that it's not you, but it's just what's happening to you at the moment. And also that little bit of exercise. Exercise can give you those feel-good chemicals that can really help to calm everything down too. The other thing here is, if this gets overwhelming to the point where it is severely affecting your daily life, please don't put up with this. The number of women who come to me and have been suffering from this way for months and months, please don't do this. Just get in touch with your doctor. It may well be that you will need something just to help tide you over through this phase. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're really suffering and it's affecting your daily life, then please don't suffer with this, and get the help that you need for as long as you need it. I hope this has helped. If any of you out there have any great tips, and I know you will from the usual responses, please share them with us. I really look forward to reading all these fantastic tips every week. And until then, I will see you next week for another edition of A.Vogel Talks Menopause.